Now that we've established that everyone has a statistic, let's go back to the meeting. Again, the statistical staff meeting for the week should be done as close to the end of the week as possible. That means, when is it? That means we're going to do it in reverse. We're not going to say we're going to hold our meeting on Wednesday. We're going to say, when is the most opportune time to have the key executives, or in a smaller company, everybody, and by smaller we mean 6, 8, 10 people. 10 people, 11, that's enough for a single meeting to be accomplished looking at various factors and stats. More than that, you should be breaking it down into your departments or divisions. And again, if your company is not structured so that there is groups as opposed to every individual, meaning you have a group here, group here, group here, they're headed by an individual, then you will have the group leaders at a meeting who will report the production of all the staff. And then once a month, you'll probably have and should have a complete meeting with everyone to bring them up to date. But the fact is, we want to know, when is it convenient? Well, Art, Wednesday morning is not a very busy morning for us generally, and all the staff are there, and we don't start till 10. Now, I could get them in at 9, and we could hold the meeting at 9 from 9 to 10. And that's another point. To capsulize the key factors of a meeting, they cannot be long and drawn out. They cannot cover things that are not of interest to other people, so they fall asleep while all this... No, this is a weekly meeting that's got snap and pop. It follows an agenda. The meeting is held when it's most convenient, most opportune, most effective for you. If it's Wednesday from 9 to 10, and that would be pretty much all the time you need, then we're ending our week Tuesday. Tuesday? We're going to end our week in the middle of the week? Look, this is what the physical universe is dictating. What is the most important factor? The most important factor is not compiling all the numbers. It's what do we do? What do we do with them? I hear all too often someone who's been tracking numbers for years. Just recently, I met someone and he had a small business. And I said, so I want to talk to you about statistics. He said, oh yeah, statistics. I have lots of statistics. He showed me a book. Okay? In this book was every key number every week for the last 4 years. I was impressed. I said, oh, that's good. I mean, obviously this should kind of get into modern times. We're in the 2000s, but he had it written. Fine, no problem. What do you do with these? Oh, well, they automatically go in my book. That's how efficient we are. And at the end of the week, I look in the book and I check the numbers. And if it's up, that's good. And if they're down, then, I hope that we do better next week. This is management by hope. This has nothing to do. This is the bare minimum of management by statistics, is having them. That's where we start. That's not the end. Therefore, the time to evaluate and review these statistics and set goals to improve them is actually key. So we're going to hold a meeting at 9 o'clock on Wednesday. We're going to end our week Tuesday at 5 o'clock. I'm giving you a hypothetical. Tuesday at 5 o'clock, the evolution occurs. Standard, all the time, never fails. There are no weeks where you don't do a statistical evolution, as in certain things happen and then the next morning the meeting is held. The meeting is always held. If you can't be there, somebody else holds the meeting. If you don't create a standardized expectation, then all of the statistical management is going to fall apart. So the evolution occurs. Well, what's that? Well, everybody sends in their numbers to a central location. Oh, well, that would presuppose that everybody has a statistic. Yeah. They send their numbers into a central location. Central location inputs them into the computer, prints out all the graphs, everybody brings their graph to the meeting on Wednesday, and I'm going a little further than I'd like right now, because I realize that when the individual ends their week and has their graph, they are determining what occurred that week that led to their up statistic or down statistic, and what they're going to do about it next week, and what is their target or quota for the next week. They're going to bring that to the meeting. They own it. I've said just now one of the most important things in statistical management. You can have all the stats in the universe, but if the person who has that stat doesn't own it, you have nothing. So they own that statistic. I see this sometimes at meetings where, what's a staff meeting for a corporation or a company? The owner or the GM or somebody, CEO, stands up and lectures for half an hour. Talk, talk, talk. And this is where we're going, and they're going to motivate that crew, and so on. Nothing motivates anybody better than the evaluation of a statistic and setting a quota. This is a group activity. It's employees who make your company grow. I mentioned that earlier, that if you're the only one trying to push this thing to success or pull it to success, it's not going to happen. It's employees who make it grow. Therefore, they need to know what their production statistics are, and they have to want to improve them. So you have this meeting now where they're all arriving, and guess what? You're not figuring it out at the meeting. They're coming in saying, I've often demonstrated this. Large audiences love demonstrations. And I say, I'm now going to demonstrate, because we get a lot of questions about this staff meeting, which is vital for coordination. And by the way, in the Hubbard Management System, Mr. Hubbard makes it very clear that
coordination is the essence of management.
Coordination is the essence of management. And this staff meeting becomes then an important factor. But here's how my staff meeting looks. I'm going to demonstrate. Okay, well, welcome all. It's great, good. I'm very anxious to hear about how everything's going. So, Kathy? Okay, great, good. All right, 78. Beautiful. All right, John? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see that. All right. Well, you might want to reconsider that point, but you make a good point. Good. 93. All right.
The quotas established are real and are always higher than those of the week before, with the idea in mind of creating a continually rising statistical graph.
Now, if you have 4 or 5 executives and you've gone through it, what has just happened? I didn't do a sermon. No, they told me, here's how my week went. This is what's happening. This is why it was looking so good. This is why it wasn't so hot. Here's what I'm doing to remedy it. And while we did 73 last week, my target this week is 76. And my job, my reduction of stress work is good. I like that. Isn't that a lot better than cajoling, than pushing, than, all right, now you got to get in that. I want to see more work. It's going into the air. How do I know? Because I interview employees after CEOs and managers do their meeting. And what do I find? Mr. CEO, how was that meeting? How did you think it went? Oh, it was good. It's good. I think they got the point. We're on track. We're back on track. All right, good. I go to the employee, their VP, and I say, how was the meeting? Usual. There's a disparity there that shouldn't occur. Okay, all right, I'm being facetious, yes, but I'm trying to make a point that everybody owns their production, and that's demonstrated or dramatized by their statistic, which is always on a graph.